So, a very good morning to all of you guys. Rahul Prajapati this side, and welcome to the morning market brief. So, let's start with the SGX first again. So, if you see, there was a small gap down here. So, probably market is likely to open a bit on the lower side today. Okay. Market trading near 17,480. So, we have seen that market is taking support somewhere around 17,500. Now, if we see the Nifty chart specifically, so this was the level where market was consolidating, and day before yesterday we tried to give a breakout above 17,500, but it closed somewhere around 17,500 only. And yesterday we have a negative closing, right? So now again, this whole area is resistance for the Nifty specifically. And on the high side, 17,800, where we are facing the resistance. Overall structure market, still look positive. If we go and check the OI data here, you can see that this is a clear, positive structure from the OI in the futures market, right? Now, if we see the OI level for the next expiry specifically, then we can say so 17,500 shows a very good addition in both call and put specifically. On the immediate basis, we can see 17,600 is also added a good amount of calls specifically. So if we say this is the only range that we are anticipating right now, because good addition happening on 17,500, and then we haven't seen not a good addition, on any particular strike price on the put. So market should take support at this level only, even if that showing a gap down, it should come up, right? And on the high side, 17,600 would be the immediate resistance. After that, we can look for at least 18,000 level on the higher side, right? So that is where we are talking about. So there will be a lot of hurdles when market moves up. So 17,800, 600, and then 18,000. These are all levels that we are looking for. Anyhow, that looks like 17,500 is a good support for market right now. Coming back to Bank Nifty. So if we see the chart, market is facing again resistance somewhere around 37,000 level. So anyhow, if we need a further move, so market has to give a breakout above this level. Okay. So that is where we're looking for. If we go and check the Bank Nifty. So that's short covering, specifically we can see. So by looking at these levels, we can say 37,000 is where market is facing resistance, and 36,500 would be again a support. So even on the downside, we can look for like 36,000. So these are the two levels we can look for. So this is the range of 1,000 points, 37 and 36 as of now that we are looking for. Okay, so let's come to the gainer and losers. Okay, so the first is Tata Communication, HAL, and National Aluminium. These are the three stocks which are top gainers yesterday. Top losers, Hindalco, Ipca Lab, and Divi's Lab. These are the three stocks, right? Okay. Now let's go to the contribution. So if we see FMCG adding a good note on the positive side, but oil, totally on the negative side, pharma, and then metals, right? Right. If we go and check the so specifically, you can see that we are adding a lot of into NBFCs and auto ancillaries, right? Okay, so we have seen a lot of addition in specifically in NBFC. Okay, we'll try to see that we can see some stocks in this in this sector specifically. Okay, auto ancillaries, and then you can see metals also adding this. Okay, so auto ancillaries and metals specifically, right? Okay, and then on the downside, if we see logically the media, oil, and PSU banks are on the negative side, right? Okay. media, oil, and PSU banks, right? These are the negative contribution that we have. So these are the adding actually on the short side. But even though if we check this, probably we have expiry yesterday. So on the basis of that, we need to wait for at least 1 or 2 days to see the new rollovers and then how markets are building the position specifically across these sectors, right? Okay. Now, one more thing that I like to share today is a kind of a new thing that I like to add in this. So whenever we have new addition happening to any month, we need to check, go and check the seasonality specifically. So if we go and increase the data and we go and check for the sector specifically. So let me just change it. So you can go and check for any particular sector, but I have observed few sectors that perform during the April month specifically. If you see this auto sector, auto counters have performed very good in the April month specifically, right? Most of the time they are positive, and we have seen a good returns of in these particular months specifically, right? So April month seems to be good for the auto stock specifically, right? Across last 15-20 years, whatever we have. Okay. And then we have fertilizers. If you see, so fertilizers are also performing good in specifically April month. So you can see on average 9% return they are generally provide monthly basis, and then we have in December 10%. So it's approximately the same. So this is the month where the fertilizer stocks are likely to perform. So do go and check the fertilizer stock specifically, right? And auto stocks specifically. So these are the two specific sector that I have identified. Probably there will be more. So I was just checking this data. So you just got to know this thing, right? So do go and check the seasonality factor of every particular sector. That will help you at least to anticipate where what are the sectors or what are the other stocks that is likely to perform during these kind of specific months, right? So do go and check only at the starting of the month, right? Okay. So that's one thing. Now, so let's come to the stocks, right? Okay. Okay, so the first stock is that we're going to have is so Godrej CP is the first stock that we are going to have. So it is trading near 746. It made a high of 750. Okay. And it's likely to give a breakout. So it's near, we have a resistance in this. Okay. So this is where we likely to expect a breakout. And it's look like a double bottom pattern in this, right? Now if we go and check Godrej CP. So logically, the data actually doesn't suggest anything. But if we see from the last few days, it's completely short covering. So we need this breakout with a good volume. So it should be like, good long build up coming up once we have seen a breakout in this. Okay. So we will wait for the breakout. Okay. And what level should we anticipate? Okay. So if you see the highest call option on the next expiry is only at the 750 and then 760, right? These are the two levels that we need to look for. So even at the 760, we are going to have a resistance. So market has to break these levels. Okay. Then we are going to have a breakout. Okay. The next is Canfin Homes. So Canfin Homes actually gave a breakout yesterday. Okay. So it is trading near 627. Okay. And 633, it made a high. So it should break that previous day high, then we'll anticipate an upside move. 610 would be a good support in this stock. Okay. So now if we see the structure of this stock seems to be positive. The Y levels are a bit on the lower side, but still we have got a good breakout. So if that further moves, we'll likely to see the move in this. Okay. Now if you see the Canfin Homes, the highest call option is around 650. So that is the breakout we are anticipating. But even though if we create a position from here only, we can see that 650 the initial target that we can anticipate. There is very less of addition happening on put on any particular strike price, that is 600. On a technical basis, 610 seems to be good support in this. Okay. So that is where we can look for the levels, right? Okay. Now if you see on the ban list, no addition, right? So it's the first day, probably we'll get few. Okay. Okay. So let's go and check the the summary part. Okay, so if we see Nifty range is 17,600, and then we are on the higher side, we are going to have 18,000. 17,500 is a good support. Bank Nifty 36,500 and 36,000. On the high side, 37,000 is another level that we can look for. Long build up NBFC, auto ancillaries and metal specifically, and then media stocks, oil and PSU banks are actually showing a short build up. Now Can Fin will go and create a position above 633 and 610 would be a support. Godrej CP 750 is the anticipated level. On the above that, we're going to take a position for the long. 700 will be good support, right? Okay. No addition in the ban list, right? Okay. So that's all from my side. I'll see you again on Monday. Thank you so much, guys. Bye and take care.